Hello everybody, Skin Deep Beauty Vlogger here. I hope you're all really well and I hope you're having a great day so far. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 fantastic high-end pencil liners that I really enjoy. I'm a real eyeliner addict. I wear eyeliner every single day, particularly along my upper lash line, and I feel like I look really tired if I don't do that. So that's probably not a good habit to be into, but I am, and unfortunately I'm quite the addict. I have got more than 70 eyeliners, which is not a cool thing. I'm not bragging by saying that. I'm just pointing that out to show you that I really have tried and tested a lot of eyeliners. And today I'm going to be talking about my favourite 5 high-end pencil liners. And I really struggled to narrow this down, and so I might be doing a follow-up, but these were the first 5 that came to mind, my most reached for. Most of them are black, but where they differ then I will of course tell you. And they're in no particular order, so I'm just going to jump in and get started. First of all, it's my favourite eyeliner for using on a night out look. Whenever I want an intense smoky eye, I reach for the Too Faced Perfect Eyes Waterproof Eyeliner. And I like this because it is basically like the effect of a gel eyeliner. It's such an intense black. In fact, I find it too intense to use on a daily basis. So that's why I reach for this on a night out. The longevity of this is incredible. It's got such good staying power. You really do need an oil-based eye makeup remover to remove this with, which might not be for everyone, but to me that's great because it means that I can apply this and know that my night out look will just stay will just stay in place and I don't need to worry about it. So I love the intensity of this. Great for a night out. I can apply this sort of along the top. I can apply this either along the top lash line, on the waterline, wherever I apply it. It gives a nice black intense gel effect, but with the ease of a pencil application. And I also like that it's got the smudger on the end. Talking of applying products to the waterline, one of my favourites for using in the waterline is the NARS Larger Than Life Longwear Eyeliner, and these were a favourite for a long time. They still remain a favourite. I don't reach for them quite so much since discovering the Too Faced one, but nonetheless I can't be without these. And I've chosen the shade Via Veneto to show you today just to compare another black. Slightly softer, not quite as intense, but I do have a number of these in other shades as well because I like them so much. Something to point out here, you can pull off the end and twist it to sort of sharpen it up, but generally these are retractable, so you just twist them to get more product. You don't need a sharpener, which I really like. So a bit of a downside on the Too Faced one that you do need to sharpen it, but this one you don't need to. Really long wearing, lives up to that long wearing name. Nice smooth eyeliner, as all of these are. It doesn't drag on the lids, but I particularly like using this in the waterline because it is really long wearing and it doesn't budge even in the waterline. Next up, bit of a blast from the past. Do you remember when the Naked palette first came out, the original Urban Decay Naked palette? And before, I believe they now put brushes in them, but back in the day when I got mine, it came with a double-ended eyeliner. And this is one of the 24/7 glide-on eye pencils. One end of it is black and the other end is brown. I use both ends. I really like these. Again, really long wearing. I'll swatch both for you. I mean, you know what black looks like, but just to show you, I'm just going to swatch it there because I think that first swatch might have been a little bit faded purely because I've just applied this onto my eyelids today as part of this look. Not quite so intense as, some of these aren't really looking that intense next to the Too Faced one, but it is nonetheless an intense one. And if you want a softer look, then the brown is really pretty as well, and that brown shade is called Whiskey. I guess they still make it. It's a classic sort of colour that everyone would want. I really like these. Again, long wearing. I can apply it along my upper lash line at the start of the day, and when I get home from work it will still be there in place. No budging, smudging, nothing. Love these. Whilst I like the shade selection, I'm not the biggest fan of the classic Street Mac eyeliners, but I do, and the reason for that is just that I find them not to be the smoothest. They smudge really beautifully, but I find they can drag on the lids a little bit. However, I really like the MAC Pro Longwear eyeliners, and the shade that I'm going to show you is called Night Trail. I don't know if they still make this. Hopefully they do. I'll put all the information in the bar below. I really love this for when I want a softer look because it is a sort of navy shade. It's a very blackened navy, so very subtle. I've done a thicker swatch for you there so you can really see the colour. I really like pairing this with MAC Patina eyeshadow. I think that the two together look really nice, give a soft look, and it just gives something a little bit different to sort of the harshness of a black or, you know, a brown eyeliner that's a little bit more obvious. So I really like this, particularly because blue is a complementary colour against brown, and I have brown eyes. So I really enjoy this just if I want a soft everyday look that's still work appropriate but a little bit more interesting thanks to that blue colour. And then last but by no means least is one from the Estee Lauder Double Wear line, and Double Wear is known for being long wearing as the name suggests, and this is the Stay in Place eye pencil in Onyx, which is plain black basically. I like this again because it has got the smudger on the end, although I would enjoy it more if you didn't need to sharpen it. In fact, all of these I would much prefer if you didn't have to sharpen them, because I'm lazy when it comes to sharpening. So that's why I like the NARS one, because okay, with these retractable ones you can get them to be quite blunt quite quickly, but NARS have addressed that by having this little thing on the end where you can sharpen it up. Took me quite an embarrassingly long time to realise that that was what that bit did. This Estee Lauder pencil is fantastic. I believe that Charlotte Tilbury used to be a fan of it before she launched her own line, and it's great because it really is a nice intense black, very smooth. It's just like butter on the skin when you apply it, and again stays in place all day long. Really fantastic, as all of these are. I couldn't put them in an order because that would just be too difficult. I reached for them for different reasons. I just love them all so much, and it really was difficult narrowing it down to these 5. These are my most used. I like the Urban Decay one because of it being double-ended. It's great for travel, and okay, I don't think you can necessarily get these as an everyday purchase. I don't think it's just because it came in the palette, but I do like it for travel. I find it really convenient because then I know that I've got 2 pencils. I like the softness of the brown, but I also like the longevity of the black and the brown. The NARS is one of my favourites for using in the waterline, but just generally I like it, and I like that functionality whereby I don't need to sharpen it. Too Faced is my favourite for a night out because it's so intense, just like a gel liner but without the faff. Estee Lauder Double Wear, still really intense, probably the second most intense of these 5 after the Too Faced one, but very smooth to apply and long wearing nonetheless, and I do like that smudger on the end, and which really helps to sort of soften the intensity if I want. So I can have it more intense for nighttime, or I can soften it and it's sort of suitable for daytime as well. And I like the MAC because I like the pencil itself, the formula, but I also really like the shade Night Trail because it gives me something a little bit different with that colour. Anyway, I hope that you found this useful. Do let me know what your favourite eyeliners are, although I don't need any encouragement. I do not need any more. I'm desperately trying to avoid buying any, but I do like to check them out because it means I can share my reviews with you. I need to go and wash my hand now, and because all of these are quite long wearing, it's going to be difficult. I know it will because I've swatched these before and had difficulty. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this. Do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already if you enjoyed it, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!